Hi guys, this is Stacy with Quantum Artistic, and today I'm going to show you how I use my Cricut to create false cardstock mats. Why am I doing this? Because mats are very expensive and I don't think you always need them to make your artwork look nice. And sometimes when in a pinch, it's really easy. It's really good to be able to understand how to do it. But hopefully it's helpful for people who have always thought about this but haven't really attempted it. So I'm going to give you some dimensions and I'm going to use a current piece of artwork that I screwed up on. I really won't call it screwed up, but I made the wrong decision as far as the size of the background. Here we go. Backstory. I created, and I'm going to just show you the size here. I created my Dirty Daisies as an 8x8 background. I wasn't thinking at the time that I was going to need a bigger frame. It wasn't until I got done with it and I was like, I think this would look better in a bigger frame. But I really didn't want to go with the 12x12 because they're stupidly expensive to ship. And I did have all kinds of 9x9s on hand, and I was like, yeah, that 9x9 will give a nice, a little bit of a buffer, and I can have a pretty little dark blue mat around it, which will really, I think, enhance the piece itself. And I will show you the before and afters of the piece too, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So the daisy piece was 8x8. I decided that I want to change it to 9x9. Well, I can't just add background to it. It would look stupid. I need to create a false mat. I don't want to order it in because it's going to cost a fortune for a custom mat, and I'm going to have to wait a week. I want to get this done today because I have all kinds of stuff to do. So what do? I go to my Cricut. I need my new background or my faux mat to completely fill a 9x9 space. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool. I'm going to go up here to size. I'm going to change it to 9. This is the shape. This is the size that I need it to be. Okay, and as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than my current one, obviously by a 1 by 1, 1 inch on each side, and that actually equates to be a 1/2 inch on each side, all the way around. So you can't just cut the 8x8 out of the 9x9 because then when you try to put your artwork in, it's just going to slip through. You need to have a lip for it to press up against, and that lip should be roughly 1/4 inch. You can go as narrow as 1/8 of an inch, but I would recommend 1/4 inch because it's a lot easier to work with. How do I make this fit into this with 1/4 inch lip? What do? I have to reduce the size of the 8x8 that I'm using as the piece that I'm going to slice out of this by a 1/2 inch, because a 1/2 inch divided by 2 is 1/4 inch. That will give me 1/4 inch on each side. So let's go ahead and change this to 7.5. It's going to reduce it to a 7.5 by 7.5, and you can see now that there's a little bit more space around the edge, and that's going to be what you need to give you an appropriate lip. So what do I do next? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to align these. So to align them, I can either come up here and Control-click to select both of my layers, or you can hold your left mouse button down, drag to select them both. And you can tell they're both selected because they're both highlighted green here. What do? I want to align them perfectly. Don't bother to try eyeballing it, just use the tool. So go to Align, Center horizontally, Center vertically. Now they are perfectly aligned. Okay, so now what you would do is you would make sure they're selected, left click and drag, or check to make sure they're highlighted over here. And you go down to the bottom and you click on Slice. Now you've got 3 different pieces here. You only need one, this one right here. So you're going to take this one off, you're going to delete it. You're going to take that one off, you're going to delete it. And you're left with this. This right here is what you're going to cut out. This is what you're going to put your artwork into, and it's going to extend it from your 8x8 to your 9x9. Just to recap, in order for me to get an appropriate lip, I had to reduce the interior dimensions by a full 1/2 inch. The full 1/2 inch only gives you 1/4 inch on each side, and that's for a square. It's going to be different if you're doing like an 8x10. So what I'm going to do is I'll try to add in a graphic that shows the interior dimensions of typical mat sizes. So you can kind of make your own calculations depending on what you want to do. You could potentially take a 3x5 and extend it to 9x9 using this method, or a 5x7 and extend it to 9x9 using this method, using your Cricut to produce the mats, which I think is going to save you a lot of money. It's going to make it a very easy process too. This is the Dirty Daisies piece, 8x8, and then this is what it would look like with a mat around it. Zoom out here. See how much better that looks? So that's going from an 8x8 to a 9x9. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out because this is obviously just the backer. 12x12 dark blue sheet. It's the sandwiching that I'm speaking of to kind of give more rigidity to the background. So this is the 9x9 that I had already cut out. I'm going to put the daisies here. I'm not going to, this isn't the finished product, I'm just going to kind of show you how it works. So the daisies would go in the center, and then the false mat, it's really hard to do this and film at the same time, goes like that. Whoops, and see it already got off kilter. Anyways, you get the point. So the point is there's a little bit of a lip all the way around here, and that's what the finished product looks like. Now it'll fit an 8x8 in a 9x9 background and have a pretty little fake mat around it that I didn't have to spend a fortune on. Because I've got a ton of cardstock on hand, I don't have a ton of mats, at least not in this particular size. That would have been a custom order. As a bonus, I'm going to show you some detail on my daisies. And I guess if you really want to ask me why I'm calling them Dirty Daisies, comment below and I will make another video about why they're called Dirty Daisies. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. And if there's any other content that you would be interested in seeing me create, of course, I have open ears. Thanks so much. Have a great day.